The man didn't sit. He didn't ask permission. He placed the blue box on the table like it weighed nothing, like it wasn't about to collapse my life, and leaned close enough that I could smell mint and rain on his breath. "You'll need this tonight." That was all. No name, no explanation. By the time my eyes lifted from the box, he was already dissolving into the cafe crowd, just another coat, another shadow, another lie walking away clean. Across from me, my wife's coffee was cooling, untouched. My stepdaughter's crumbs still ringed her plate in a careless halo. They were laughing in the restroom hallway mirror when it happened. I could hear it. Her laugh. Too light, too practiced. I didn't open the box. I didn't look around. I slid it into my bag like I'd been expecting it all along. That's the thing about betrayal. Your body knows long before your mind is brave enough to admit it. On the drive home, I kept one hand on the steering wheel and the other pressed against the bag. The blue box felt solid, certain, like a verdict waiting for permission. My wife talked about paint colors. My stepdaughter sang softly to herself in the back seat. Domestic, normal, a performance so polished it almost worked. Almost. That night, after they went to bed, I sat alone at the kitchen table. The house hummed with false peace. I opened the bag, lifted the lid. Inside, a DNA test kit, a burner phone, and a folded note with only 6 words written in sharp, deliberate ink. "She lied about who you are." I didn't react. I've learned stillness is a weapon. I thought of the first time my wife told me she was pregnant years ago, how her hands shook, how she cried before I even spoke, how I convinced myself it was fear, not guilt. I thought of how fast she'd accepted my proposal, how grateful she'd been, how eager to build a life on my stability. And my stepdaughter, the way her eyes slid past mine sometimes, the way she never called me Dad. Not once, not ever. I didn't sleep. I didn't confront. I planned. Over the next week, I became a ghost in my own home. I smiled. I cooked. I listened. I memorized patterns. She guarded her phone like it was breathing, deleted messages nightly, changed passwords monthly. But secrets rot. They leak. I used the burner phone. Contacts were already loaded. One number labeled only with an initial. I didn't call. I waited. I sent the DNA samples in with clinical precision. I watched the tracking update like a heart monitor. I noted how my wife flinched when the mail arrived, how her voice thinned when I mentioned ancestry kits casually over dinner. She knew. She always knew. The results arrived on a Tuesday. Plain envelope. No drama. 0% probability. No shared blood. No shared truth. I folded the paper once, neatly, like everything else. That evening, I set the report on the table between us while she was pouring wine. She didn't see it at first. Then she did. The glass slipped from her hand. Red bled across the tile. She looked at me like a cornered animal. Mouth opening, closing, calculating which lie might still survive. "Say it," I told her softly. She didn't deny it. Didn't even try. She cried. She begged. She reached for reasons like they were life rafts. Loneliness, fear, youth, acenties, 2999 toidois, mistake that grew legs and followed her home. I watched. Cold. Still. Then I placed the burner phone beside the report. "He's been waiting for you to tell me," I said. "He got tired of being invisible." Her face collapsed inward. That was the moment, the exact second, she understood. The math had finished running. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't threaten. I told her the truth instead, that I'd already transferred the house, that the trust for her daughter, his daughter, was now in her biological father's name, that the messages, the photos, the timeline were already archived and sent to her family attorney. I stood, straightened my jacket. "I was never your safety net," I said. "I was your exit strategy." She screamed when I reached the door. Not my name, just sound. I left without looking back. Now I sit alone in an apartment that smells like fresh. Paint and nothing else. Clean. Unclaimed. Honest. The blue box sits empty in a drawer. A reminder that truth doesn't knock. It waits. I don't hate her. Hate requires attachment. What I feel is quieter, sharper. I wasn't destroyed. I was clarified.